Hello, everybody. This is Kenny Cummins here of Chilling with Kenny C right here on TMV Cafe, bringing you entertainment to your ears. You know, I like to do the wrestling interviews. I love to chat with wrestlers, hear their stories, hear about their whereabouts and the journey that brought them to where they are. But you know, wrestling is kind of like any other sport. It's more than just the performers that you see. It's the referees, it's the commentators, it's the screaming fans that they see on a week to week basis. And then there's that one person that you literally the first person that you hear before the matches takes place. The ring announcers. I'm talking Howard Fink. I'm talking Justin Roberts. I'm talking Samantha. I'm talking them people. Those are I like to refer to them as the MC. Move the crowd, keep the things going, keep people intrigued. And this man is a prime example of that. He is approaching his 10th year in the wrestling business as a ring announcer. He's been active across the Indianapolis wrestling scene. He's a prime part of a promotion called Wrestle Arts, which they do once a month at the Irving Theater at Indianapolis, Indiana. The next show's coming up within the next few weeks or the next month or so. And I'm joined with Mr. Zane Pasley. How's it going, sir?
Well, thank you so much for that lovely introduction, and I really appreciate you supporting independent wrestling the way that you do. That's amazing. And as we talked off air, it was nice to meet you during Royal Rumble weekend in
Yeah.
Indianapolis. So next time I see you, we'll probably be. Are you going to be at the Squared Circle Expo?
Yes, sir. I will
All
be
right.
there.
I
Both
won't be there
nights.
on Friday. That's my wife's birthday, but I'll be there all day on Saturday.
Gotcha. Yeah, so I'm very excited about the expo. I'm friends with the three people that are in charge of it, and I've been there every single year that since 2021, I believe. So it's they got over 100 plus guests coming from all over the country, all over the world. And any chance I can go to that convention is special. I mean, Indianapolis. Let's just be honest. They always been a busy wrestling town, but man, things have been picking up this year in particular due to the aforementioned Royal Rumble weekend. I got a chance to see the Indianapolis wrestling scene up close. Got plenty of friends on there, including this woman right here on my shirt, Miss Rachel Armstrong. Uh, so Mr. Paisley, man, you are celebrating your 10th year,
Yeah, it's
and
wild.
and I actually met you long before Royal Rumble weekend. I actually, well, not necessarily meet you, but I first saw you at Paradigm Pro Wrestling.
Oh, really?
New Albany, Indiana. I think he was there for one of the last shows
I
before
was.
they went on a hiatus. So that was my first time at that building, which is the All Perpetual Hops
Uh-huh.
Brewery. That's a beautiful place.
Yeah, it was a great place.
Beautiful place for food, for arcades, and for wrestling. So I wish I would have been to those shows a long time ago. That building is something to behold. I love that
Yeah.
place. So shout out to Gary Wilson, to Paradigm Pro Wrestling. Hope everything is well with them, and hopefully they will come back in the future.
Yeah,
But
they're great, man.
yeah,
I always my Twitter presence is a little funny because I will dog on shows being too long.
yeah,
And I use them as an example, but they use themselves as an example.
yeah.
So I did a couple split shows with them. They did a split show with Wrestle Arts at one point. They
Mhm.
did a split show with Flophouse at one point. And so I knew those guys through that. And they always tried to get me to come down. And I always said, I can't drive 2 hours each way and then, It was for a 6 hour show. So they said for that Our Lady of Perpetual Hop show, they said we can only be there for 3 hours because the building wants us out, so it's not going to be forever. I said, awesome, I'll be there. So so much fun, and I can't wait. And I know that they'll be back for more
Yeah,
events eventually. The great guys, great company. All the guys that run it are amazing. They'll be back and doing more big things.
I really hope so because it just felt like I was just there for like what could be the last year of doing events, and I wanted more. And shame on me for taking too long to finally make it to these shows. I mean, you gotta understand, from my perspective, 2020, and I have been going to wrestling shows for years. People just finding out that I've gone to more shows than what I'm accustomed to.
Mm-hmm.
Most of them have been in Indiana, Southern Indiana, and then I make it to Indianapolis for the expo, or now I'm going to Evansville for another promotion, Hooligan Championship Wrestling, which I've become a proud sponsor for multiple of the shows. It's a 3 hour drive either way,
Mm-hmm.
but it's worth the trip, and it's a chance to not just enjoy wrestling, but see people that I may not necessarily see come to Kentucky. Sometimes you have to go to them instead of them come to you.
I
I
think my
love,
buddy Foltzy is the ring announcer for Hooligan down in
yes.
Evansville. He's
Yep.
amazing. He's great.
Yeah, so shout out to him. Shout out to Mr. Schaffner and to the whole staff. They got a big show coming up on the 10th, the women's event, Ascend the Queen of Two. I will be there.
Awesome.
And yeah, so it's a fun time. So, Mr. Paisley, um, as you approach the 10th year, looking back at everything that you have done, for all the promotions that you have worked for all the memories that you've had, how are you feeling going into your 10th year as a ring announcer for professional wrestling? What's that feeling for you?
I'm very proud because a lot of my peers are great, and but a lot of them burn out after just a few years. It can be a frustrating business. It really can. But I just loved being able to help out young wrestlers, help out young referees. A lot of people, since I've been around for a while, and I don't badmouth a lot of people. If there is somebody that I want people to be weary of, then I will let them know. And if there's people that I recommend, that my word is taken pretty highly. And so I appreciate the promoters and wrestlers that ask me for those things. So I love being able to spot new talent if I'm working an event in Anderson, Indiana, or Marion, Indiana, and they don't see a whole lot of those folks here in Indianapolis. I love to be able to recommend people. I've done work with old wrestling, and I've recommended wrestlers that have gone on to work some of their Ohio shows. So I really that's one of the best things, being able to help out young talent, but also being able to tell those young talent, hey, that promoter might be a little shady or whatever. So I like to be able to look out for the kids. I'm in my late 40s. I've got teenagers of my own. I just want to make sure that everybody's taken care of.
That's truly understandable. Um, a lot of people that I know, a lot of our mutual friends that we know, I I hear good. I hear a lot of good things about you, of
Awesome.
what you mean to to the scene in Indianapolis, what you mean to wrestling in general, class personified,
Oh, that's
um,
silly.
class class personified, just a all around good person that just want to be a helping hand, as you point out, helping out younger talent and just being that reference to promotion or to talent alike. And I echo everything what they said, man. Like
I appreciate that.
you're a constant pro at your craft, and I feel like ring announcers, man, that's a tough gig for anybody, and it's wrestling. fans are already like rabid individuals that just want something to happen, and they need someone just to keep things going. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And that's how do you deal with it, man? How do you deal just trying to, get the crowd going for whatever event that you go to? How do you deal with that with the crowd just being antsy and whatnot?
Well, it depends on the setting and the promotion. When I was with Bizarro Lucha and when I was with Flophouse, we would run those shows in a brewery. And as you said, yeah, you went to the Paradigm show at a brewery. Sometimes those crowds are a little bit different than a crowd that I do at a church. So keep communicating with folks, treat them with respect. Some of the best advice I ever got was from my friend Drew Skills, who's been around the Indianapolis area for a very long time. And he said, why do you ask the crowd in between each match how they're doing and are they enjoying the show? And I said, oh well, I'm trying to keep them up. He's like, well, didn't that last match end on a high spot? Didn't the good guy win? Isn't the crowd already up? Yeah. Well, you're going to burn them out at the end of by the end of the night? I don't want to. Well, just get them into the next match. So if the crowd's already up, get them into that next match. If the crowd is down, I've been at events where the first three matches, three bad guys win the first three matches. So we're going into intermission, and the crowd is somber because they've seen all the good guys lose already. So then you gotta get them back up so that they're excited about the end of the show. So there's just different techniques that you can do. Some of them are hacky. Some people love the uh, schedule for one fall, and then they say one. You can do that if that's what's called for. But there's times where I'll say the following contest is scheduled for one fall being officiated by, so I don't give the audience that chance to do it. And then at the end of the night for the main event, I'll say the following contest is your main event scheduled for one fall, and then they get to do the one fall thing, and so it's not the repetitive thing over and over again. It's different promotions call for different things, different events call for different things. That's one of the fun things about being a ring announcer. You kind of got to be a producer. You kind of get to be the MC, as you had mentioned earlier. You get to be quality control. You get to wear a lot of different hats, and it's so much fun.
Yeah, it's something intriguing. Also you gotta deal with the shenanigans from the heels. Like you try and do your job, and then sometimes they want to take the microphone, or they're gonna ask you to assist you to the ring, hold that middle rope up. Those type of ordeals.
Did
But
you ever see Mance Warner when he was first starting out?
no, I didn't get to see him early in his career, but
He would bring a towel to the ring and make the ring announcer uh, uh, rub his boots, clean his boots for him as he was getting into the ring. So that was, he's the only person I've ever seen do that. So yes, heels are jerks sometimes.
yeah, man, he's something else. He's very talented, and it's good to see him get that big a spotlight on him now.
He's living the life. He's got a
Yeah,
beautiful fiance. He's wrestling on TV right now, but then he also gets to set his own schedule for a lot of things. He's living the life.
yeah. So Mance Warner, I've seen him a couple of times. He's that's one of those guys you don't want to meet in the back alley. I don't care if it's wrestling or non-wrestling. He's just someone. He's a cool guy. I'm just saying, like, if you catch him on a bad day and you pop off at the dude, it's good night, Irene. I'm
You know
just
who
saying.
I'm more afraid of than Mance Warner?
What's that?
Mama Warner. His mom. She threatened me with a screwdriver last time I saw her. That's a
Ooh,
shoot. She threatened me with a screwdriver. So you don't want to get anything going with any of those Warners.
man, they don't play. They don't play
Mm-hmm.
at all, man. So let's talk Wrestle Arts, man.
Yeah.
So Wrestle Arts is a 501c3. It's a nonprofit, which is with purpose. The next show actually is coming up on May 24th at the Irving Theater.
Yes.
Actually, the one of the match was just announced, I believe. Hunter Drake going up against Ace Perry.
Ace
Uh,
just left for Japan. He's going to be doing a big tour of Japan, so we get to have him when he comes back. And Hunter Drake, have you seen Hunter Drake? You saw him
yes,
at that
yes,
Paradigm
yes,
show.
I did. Yes, I
That
did.
was the night before that he was at Wrestle Arts, so I
Yes,
got to ring announce for him 2 days in a row. He's an amazing young talent.
yes.
He's with the Carnies. The Carnies are wild boys, but they know how to treat each other, he's a good young guy, and the Carnies and the Dragons are going to be taking each other on at Wrestle Arts. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, man. I like Hunter Drake. Just he's just a stud in the ring. Just man, like he's one of those guys that if you ain't familiar with him now, you will be in the next year or two.
Yeah, definitely.
He's just that good of a talent. Same could be said about Ace Perry, as you point out. He's in Japan, on the verge of going to Japan, I should say. And I've seen him several times. I've seen him at the arena at Jeffersonville. I've
Hmm.
seen him for Generation X Pro Wrestling, which is a Kentucky-based promotion owned by Larry D. Yeah, that dude is him. He is
Yeah.
that guy. So woo. I mean,
He's one of the guys that I've seen perform for a while now that I'm wondering why he's not on TV every week. Because he's got the look, he's got the charisma, he's got the skill set. He should definitely be everywhere, not just a hidden gem in the Midwest.
yes, both of these guys. Man, just enjoy them while they on the indie scene because they both gonna be signed somewhere in the foreseeable future. And I'm noticing something with Wrestle Arts. There's like a tournament going on with multiple promotions.
Yeah.
And hence I got the shirt for a certain champion that they'll be coming after.
Yeah.
I think there's a promotion in Illinois. There's Wrestle Arts, and there's a couple of other promotions
Well,
joining forces.
I think it's Second Wrestling in
Yes,
Chicago,
yes,
and Wrestle Arts where it's going to be multiple matches tournament. It's called the Interstate Classic,
yes.
where it's going to be women's wrestling, and then the winner of that will be able to take on Rachel Armstrong for the Wrestle Arts open weight, the women's open weight crown. For Wrestle Arts, they don't call them championships. You can call them championships,
Yeah,
but they call them the crowns. So it's pretty cool. It's a little different.
gotcha. So, and I did see Rachel defend that crown at the Royal Rumble weekend. Actually, the morning of Royal Rumble, against Heather. No, I mean, not it was Laney Luck. Yeah, it was Laney Luck. For that title, and
Hmm.
of course, Heather. She's a former crown holder.
Hmm.
Been trying to clamor to get that crown back. And
Hmm.
the last time I see, of course, that was my first Wrestle Art show I went to. Um, she's away for a while. And but she's in the tournament as well. Looking to win back the crown.
Hmm.
And I think there's speaking of Wrestle Arts, I see that Leela Feist, who I've got a closer view of at OVW. She's making a name for herself there. She's going up against Reagan Lindale as a part of that Interstate Classic.
Yeah. Do
That
you know Reagan? Have you been able to see her before?
I have not seen her before.
Her moniker is the Big Hoss Hippie. So she is a Hoss. Um, think Nikki Bella from about 5 to 7 years ago. It just she's one to watch. She's going to be real good. She's still very young in her career, but she's definitely one to watch.
Yeah, and that's definitely what I love about Indianapolis wrestling. Y'all got a lot of gems in that
Well,
city, a lot of good talent, and both those that travel to Indianapolis. That just tells you how big the city is for the wrestling scene, and what Indianapolis is indeed a wrestling town. So that it ain't just the homegrown talent; it's well traveled people that come here because
yeah,
they
let me tell you about 2019.
okay.
So we had Shotzi Blackheart.
Hmm.
She moved from Northern California to Indianapolis. Okay.
Hmm.
She ran a promotion called Bizarro Lucha. I was Mr. Bizarro. I was the ring announcer.
Hmm.
Okay. At that time, Alley Cat, who's now Alley Catch,
Yeah.
she moved from Texas to Indianapolis. A guy that you might be familiar with, MJF, he moved from New York to Indianapolis.
Hmm.
We had all these folks in Indianapolis because it's a central hub. You can take a flight to anywhere and get there in 4 hours. You can drive to Cleveland. You can drive to Chicago. You can drive to St. Louis. You can drive to Alabama. You can drive to Tennessee. You can get to all these different places with a carload. And so that was kind of a golden time of independent wrestling in Indianapolis. We're building it back up. Those people, just like
Yeah.
other places, they got taken by the AEWs, they got taken by the NXTs. So we're building it back up, and obviously the pandemic hurt everything, but we're building it back up to another vibrant scene. And we can battle Chicago, we can battle St. Louis, we can battle Kentuckiana. As for supremacy in the Midwest, and really, we've got some great talent, as you mentioned. I'm very proud of the Indianapolis scene.
Yeah, and it was a special weekend for Royal Rumble just to be there at that city. There were a grand total of 13 wrestling shows in 4 days. And I went to seven of them. Um, now it's impossible to go to because some of them were happening at the same time, so you have to pick and choose. But I said when Royal Rumble was coming to Indy, I wanted to go to a Naptown show, and I wanted to go to a Wrestle Art show.
Awesome.
And
Well,
you
Jay
know,
Rose and just Jay, they did a great job with the Combat Crossroads weekend. They did
yeah,
amazing. I got to help out. I got to be a ring announcer. I got to be security. I got to
yeah,
be an usher. I got to be wear a lot of different hats that weekend there. So they did a tremendous job, and they're going to be running this coming Sunday. If any
yeah,
of your viewers are in the Indianapolis area, at Upland
yeah.
Brewing in Fountain Square. So it was right by, it was literally half a block away from where you were at the Fountain Square Theater. Very intimate show. The main event is going to be their champion, Isaiah Bronner, versus one of my favorites of all time, one of the best dudes in professional wrestling. Shug D is going to be there. So it's going to be a fun day. That's going to be Sunday afternoon in Fountain Square.
That so my first impression of Naptown All Pro, I was like, and I seen the videos on YouTube. I seen the clips of how in your face it is. Like I live in Kentucky. They don't allow any fans to be near the ring. They are very strict on that. Not that town all pro. They want you to like at least get a feel, slam your hand on the mat. And I'm
Yeah,
like, oh, there's no restrictions in Indiana. I mean,
it's the wild west.
I'm like, okay, I'll join in. I want to get the feel for it. And man, that atmosphere was incredible. Jay Rose, just an outstanding dude, very passionate. He's one of the most passionate dudes that I've ever met, and and of course, Naptown is approaching the third year, in May. So congrats to them on that. And as Isaiah, and Suge. What a main event that town has this Sunday.
Yeah.
So if you are anywhere near Indianapolis on that day, look, and it's an early show. It's not one of those night shows, so you can get enjoy about 3 hours of wrestling. Get back home before night and
Hmm.
get ready for the work week. Uh,
Definitely.
I think I prefer this. I think it's fair. People prefer this. If it comes to a wrestling show on a Sunday, you would prefer the afternoons than the evenings, so that you can at least get back home before the
Yeah.
night. And yeah, but that's just me. But yeah, you. So, what else you have in the works? As far as you mentioned, you have some other things you got working on. What else you have on the horizon?
Yeah, so we've mentioned Wrestle Arts a few times. If you get a chance,
Yeah.
go to YouTube and look up Wrestle Arts. A lot of their events are free on YouTube, so definitely check that out.
Mhm.
Their next event is going to be May 24th at the Irving Theater in Indianapolis. If you're not familiar with Indianapolis, there are like four major interstates that run through Indianapolis. So you can jump on the interstate and get to the Irving Theater in 5 minutes from an interstate. So it's great. Um, I do want to mention for them, I'm very excited on June 28th.
Mhm.
Uh, Myself and Wrestle Arts, we're running a show that's going to be during the Irvington Pride Festival. It's going to be a free event. Set up a ring outside during the Pride Festival. So that's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have a blast. Um, let's see, Summit Pro, which is out of Greenfield, Indiana. It's a super fun promotion. Sean Kemp is one of the main guys there. Chase Holiday is another one of the main people there. Gwen Miadonna. We've got a bunch of great people there. We're going to be running there in Greenfield. That is the first Sunday of May, so that is May 4th. I do a wrestling theology event, which wrestling theology is my buddy Rich Abbott who runs it. He likes to spread the word, positive atmosphere, bring in wrestling fans. So that's going to be at a church in Fortville, Indiana. That is May 17th. And then May 24th, then is Wrestle Arts. And as I mentioned earlier, I'll be at the Squared Circle Expo on April 26th. That is running the 25th and the 26th. My wife's birthday is on the 25th, so I can't go that night, but I will be there all day on the 26th. I'm going to be working with Paul Walter Hauser,
Ooh.
who's an amazing actor and a budding professional wrestler. He's had some great matches, so I'll be hanging out with him all day. In years past, I helped with Sting. I helped with MJF. I helped with Mox. They always bring in phenomenal guests.
Yeah.
So very lucky to be a part of that.
Yeah, so man, that's awesome. The Pride event, that's awesome. And what I admire about wrestling, man, is that, it's just characters, different walks of life, you know, all forms of representation that's out there. So yeah, man, just check out all these events that Zane mentioned, support independent wrestling, check them out. And Indianapolis is just thriving,
Yeah. And if,
thriving.
if, if anybody wants to keep up with that, they can follow me on Twitter. It's just at Zane Pasley, ZanePasley. I'm also on Instagram under the same thing at Zane Pasley and on YouTube at Zane Pasley. I have a Facebook account, but that's kind of a family thing. So
Yeah.
don't follow me on there. But Twitter and Instagram and YouTube at Zane Pasley on all those.
You well said, man. Check him out. Check out Wrestle Arts. Check out all these events. Indianapolis Wrestling is just, man. I'm looking forward to Square Circle Expo in a few weeks. I'll be there for both nights. I'm there for just, oh my goodness, WrestleCon Indianapolis was overwhelming. This convention is overwhelming, and I mean that in a good way. Just
Yeah,
so many of my favorites that I get to see.
a lot
Some,
going on.
yeah. So they got Black Labor Pro on Friday weekend. It's actually their first show of the calendar year, which is shocking to me. But I'm not complaining. I'll be
It's
happy to just say I was there for the first show.
it's been a while since they've run, so it's
Yeah.
exciting that they're coming back. Hey, if you get a chance, Kenny, also check out on my YouTube channel. I ran a really special event. I'm not a promoter. I'm a ring announcer.
Mm.
Okay, I was asked to run an event at the Harrison Center for the Arts. Okay, so
Yep.
this is an art gallery. They have their first Friday where they open up all their galleries,
Mhm.
have people walk around. Okay. I was asked to put on a wrestling show during that event for the entertainment. Normally they have like jazz bands, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So I got to run a wrestling show for that. We decided to do 5 matches. Each match took place in a different decade. So the first match took place in the 50s. Second match was the 70s, 90s, Y2, no, 30s, 50s, 70s, 90s, and Y2K. It was a phenomenal show. I had so much help with it. It was so fun, and that's available for free on my YouTube channel. It's got my buddy Prophet of Ash, Jeremy. He edited it, so the match from the 30s looks like it was filmed in the 30s. The match from the 90s looks like it could have been straight out of ECW. So definitely check that out if you get a chance.
Oh, I definitely will. Shout out to Ash, man. Just a phenomenal person, phenomenal photographer, videograph,
Yeah,
whatever you need, photo, video, that type of ordeal. He's your guy, and he's
yep,
in Indiana. So go check him out. Thank you, Zane, for this chat this evening slash afternoon. Very nice to interact with you.
yeah.
And well, I'll see you at the expo in a few weeks. And I do want to come back, not just for the expo, obviously. I want to come back for another Wrestle Arts, and for another Naptown.
Yeah,
And I'm thinking of coming back for the summer. Once the weather gets of more warm. You know what I'm saying?
yep,
This thing is we've dealt with this Midwest. We've been dealing with constant rain and
yeah.
and floods and all that. Obviously, thoughts and prayers to everyone that's affected, and wish everybody okay. Um, but yeah, once we get to the summer, I'm definitely looking to come back for Naptown and for Wrestle Arts. Uh, thank you, Zane,
Thank you.
and congrats on your nearing 10-year anniversary, and continue success and everything. You are you are a very good person, very reliable, a helping hand. Feel like I feel like every state, every country, every
Hmm.
continent, they need a Zane Paisley. They need somebody that can just be there, whatever is whatever is wanted, whatever is needed. They need a Zane Paisley, just someone that can just be that helping hand. So,
That's
uh,
very nice of you.
so salute to you, sir. On everything you have done for professional wrestling. And thank you again for your time, sir.
Thank you.
All right, y'all. That's going to conclude the interview. Thank y'all so much for listening. Y'all enjoy your evening. Y'all enjoy your week. And like I said, please support independent wrestling. Check out all of the events at Indiana. They are killing it right now. So y'all have a good night, and let's just wait by. Let's just wait by. Huh.